trend going on in your manga and anime series right now. You might have heard of it, and you might have seen it. It's arms and legs getting chopped off left and right. And in this week's chapter of One Piece, Law loses an arm in his battle against Doflamingo, and it is messed up. It might be one of the more violent scenes seen in the entire One Piece series, and it's still incredibly shocking to see how quickly and how massively powerful that kick was when he did it. And it was really cool how he actually had the string that was coming out from his legs and going up to his feet, which he literally used to hold down Law and cut his arm off. And you see this massive impact exploding from the top of this castle, which had just been cut in half by Law and then wrapped up in massive spider webs. The opening battle of this week's chapter is really impressive, and the tension is incredibly high, because Law himself is sort of carrying on the spirit of Rocinante, or Corazon. He's going to the battle with the death with Doflamingo, and it's fantastic. And I'm really starting to appreciate the artwork of One Piece little by little, because remember, I'm still only been reviewing this manga series for a couple of weeks now, and I'm starting to kind of get used to it. I still think I'm going to enjoy all of this a little bit more when it gets to the anime version, but that's only because I just love the voice acting so much from these characters. And of course, sometimes when they do these big action episodes, they just go completely crazy. So, Law losing an arm is a huge deal, and it's made even more disturbing because as soon as he's defeated, Doflamingo decides he's going to finish him off with an execution with a lead bullet. And as soon as he's about to shoot him, there's a battle going on underneath them between Bellamy and Luffy Luffy's Gatling just makes the ceiling explode, and he actually ends up killing one of Doflamingo's clones. And then that's the other part of this week's chapter, where Bellamy and Luffy are fighting, and Luffy is trying to do everything in his power to stop Bellamy. And we even get some flashbacks that we've never seen before of Bellamy joining Doflamingo's crew. He doesn't really get to join the crew, he's just given their symbol. And this is something that was hinted at way earlier on when they actually introduced Bellamy for the very first time. And as awful as a person as Doflamingo is, as shitty as he is, as much of a psychopath as he is, Bellamy respects him. He's not going to bite the hand that feeds, and that's why he's going to do everything he can to stay with Doflamingo and try to stay in his favor, and he's going to continue to fight against Luffy. And at the very end of this week's chapter, he displays one of his old techniques where he's just springing around the room constantly, and he claims it's more powerful than before. And it looks like both him and Luffy are going to be having a really intense battle, and I don't know how he's even going to be able to, not kill him, unless maybe he uses Haki to knock him out or something. But I'm really interested to see where this is going, and I'm not really sure how things are going to work out for Bellamy in the end. I'm not sure if he's going to survive this arc, especially with how disturbing Doflamingo is at this point by just casually cutting off Law's arm. And he didn't just casually cut it off, he held him down, he was berating him as he did it, and then boom, this just big explosion came up, and it was really intense, and then Treble's just like, oh, you did it now! It's just really crazy. So what's the rundown? On this week's chapter of One Piece, it was pretty freaking awesome. I especially love when they focus on the action scenes this week, and this week we got two of them. Luffy versus Bellamy, and Law versus Doflamingo. Clearly Law versus Doflamingo is the one that most people are going to remember, because this is going to be the chapter where Law lost an arm, and it happened on a holiday no less. We're always going to remember Thanksgiving is the day where Law lost his right arm. And maybe he'll somehow be able to get it reattached, or maybe he'll get some sort of badass automail arm. Maybe they're going to do like a Full Metal Alchemist crossover, which that's never going to happen. But still, a man can dream, can he? Although, now that I think about it, Law is known as the Master Surgeon, so there is a pretty good chance he could be able to heal himself. Although, at this point in the arc, I just have a feeling that he's probably not going to live until the end, as much as I would actually want him to, because Law is freaking badass. He is the Law! Otherwise, everything I liked about this chapter was mostly the battling, but also the dialogue between Doflamingo and Law. Doflamingo's just so evil, and he loves being evil, and that's what makes him such a great villain. And I especially love the callback at the end when he pulls out the gun, which has lead bullets in it. That's so freaking messed up, man. That's so disturbing on so many levels. And, I was really hoping that maybe Luffy would finally decide to jump in, but, I really want to see where this whole Bellamy thing is going. If it's going to open up something else, if he's going to end up just getting killed by either, I'm going to say Luffy might accidentally kill him, but I just don't see that happening because Luffy never does that type of thing. That's just not his deal. And then you have Doflamingo there, who's just not going to stand for that. I always imagined Doflamingo was just going to come in and just kill Bellamy anyway. And maybe this will push Luffy to some sort of new Super Saiyan-esque level. But who knows when that's going to happen. There's still a lot of other battles that are going on in Dressrosa. And just, damn, man. I can't believe Law is just getting, like, trashed so much in this battle. I really wanted him to do a little bit more. He got some good hits in, though, but just, damn, after he loses his arm, it's just so intense. And I was really hoping that when that happened, that's why Luffy was reacting to that, but no, he's just fighting against Bellamy and things are getting crazy. So this was a pretty freaking awesome chapter of One Piece that you should definitely check out. The artwork was really exciting. The battling was really intense. The dialogue was awesome. Law loses an arm. Luffy versus Bellamy. It's time to get excited again for the Dressrosa arc. So I'm going to give this week's chapter a 5 out of 5. I think it was pretty freaking awesome, and we should be thankful that we got such a badass brawling chapter on Thanksgiving. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please tell me what you thought about this week's chapter of One Piece. What did you think of the battle between Law and Doflamingo? Do you think Law is out of the battle for good now that his arm is gone? And how is Luffy going to deal with Bellamy? Before you guys leave, make sure and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. You can do that by clicking on the channel icon right up here. You guys can also follow us on Facebook and on Twitter.